Are you thinking about starting a YouTube channel but not sure where to begin? Or maybe you've already started but you're struggling to grow your audience and make a name for yourself? The truth is, creating content on YouTube isn't easy. It takes more than just a camera and a good idea to make it big on the platform. That's why in this video, we're gonna dive deep into the psychology of YouTube and share with you some tips and tricks that you'll definitely need to have before you get started. Forget about cameras, microphones, scripts, or thumbnails. In this video, we're gonna talk about the mindset you need to cultivate to make it on the platform. So if you're ready to take your YouTube game to the next level and start creating content that truly connects with your audience, then sit back, relax, and get ready to learn some powerful psychological tricks that will help you succeed on the platform. There are two key psychological tricks you need to keep in mind before you get started. First, not telling anyone that you're starting a YouTube channel. And second, being passionate about what you're talking about on your channel. So why you shouldn't tell people about your goals? You've probably heard the advice that you should write down your goals. There's plenty of research indicating that writing them down can improve your chances of achieving them. You might also be familiar with the idea that sharing goals with others can always have an even stronger effect on the success rates. While this advice may work for some people in certain situations, researchers have found that sharing your goals in general might actually make you less likely to achieving them. So keep watching to learn more about why you should keep your goals to yourself. Number one, getting talked out of it before you get started. Getting talked out of it is one of the most common reasons people never act on their goals. They think by sharing them, they might actually get support from others, but in reality, a lot of people might discourage you. And if you're not tenacious enough, you will quit before you even start. Sure, you may end up with helpful friends who are supportive and encouraging as you work toward a goal, but there's always a chance they could try to talk you out of it. They may say things like your goal is too unrealistic and not worth pursuing, or you're too old for that, or you don't have the resources for it. Some people's own feelings of inadequacy will always make them feel a little less inferior if they can point out your flaws and limitations. And by doing so, they can sabotage your chances for success as well. And number two, you may be constantly asked about your progress. One downside to openly sharing your goals is that other people may start setting expectations for you. They'll expect progress reports, which is fine in case you want their feedback, but if just having someone ask how your goal is going makes you feel stressed out, don't invite that pressure into your life. Another downside is that by putting too much pressure on yourself and making too big a deal out of something, you'll get more attention than necessary and you'll get unwanted advice from those who don't know about the complexities of your goal. When you're talking about long-term projects like YouTube or writing a book or starting a business, it's easy for people who aren't directly involved to offer advice that isn't relevant or helpful at all. And number three, those who you think care about your goals may be less supportive. As you near your goals, people may give you the impression that they care about your goals, but when it comes down to it, not everybody's going to be ready for you to achieve it. Some people might feel like they're losing a friend or family member if you succeed, and they may not be happy with the new version of yourself since you've been freed from the pains of mediocrity. Maybe they've always seen themselves as better than you and don't want their worldview to be changed by your achievements. And some people are just too jealous in what they see in others. They simply can't stand the idea of seeing someone else shine. So before you tell anyone about your goals, make sure that these people are truly supportive of your dreams and aspirations. And number four, people may take your idea and run with it. Perhaps this may be the biggest reason not to share your goals with anyone. If people find out what you're working on, they might steal your ideas and even try to claim credit for it. At the very least, try to control who gets access to private information and only share details with people you trust. And number five, you don't want to jinx it. While the process of articulating your hopes and dreams can be very powerful, it also has the potential to jinx them. The more you talk about your plans, the more likely you are to doubt them. Talking about your goals can make them seem less important or make it seem like they aren't working out or are farther away than they actually are. This can cause doubts to creep into your mind, which makes you feel like giving up because it seems too hard or you won't think it's possible anymore. And number six, you might actually change your mind. You might think that telling people about your goal will keep you accountable. This can be true, but there are some downsides to this as well. Especially if you end up changing your mind, perhaps you realize that what you wanted to achieve isn't as important as something else where the goal is not relevant anymore because of external factors or maybe just because there is an opportunity for you to do something even better than you originally set out to do. If we share our goals with others and then don't follow through on them, we're often blamed for failing to accomplish them, and then we're expected to explain ourselves, and people may even stop believing in you altogether because they assume either you aren't committed enough or you aren't capable of achieving goals, even though neither assumption could be farther from the truth. And number 7, if you do fail, people will happily remind you of it. When you tell others your goals, you're making yourself vulnerable in a way that makes you more susceptible to negative feedback later on. In fact, if you've told people about your goals and have now failed, they'll be happy to remind you about how much work there is left for you to do. It's hard enough to admit failure when it's only temporary, but things get even worse when those failures become public information. The more people know about your goal-related failure, the harder it becomes for you to forget about your mistakes. Now, if telling people about your goals is important to you, then by all means do it. Just make sure to discuss it with someone who will actually encourage and motivate you to pursue your passion. Speaking of passion, passion is the second psychological trick that'll get you to smash it on YouTube. So what is passion? According to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary definition, it's a strong and barely controllable emotion. It's an intense, driving, or overmastering feeling or conviction. So what are the benefits of being passionate about your niche? When you're passionate about something, you have more energy and more enthusiasm, and it spills over into the relationship of your friends and family. It'll also help to override your fears, move you closer to your potential, and open the doors to success. Here are 6 ways to identify your passion on YouTube. Passion already exists inside of you, so you don't have to go looking for it. It's what gets you excited, so you can't stop talking or thinking about it. First, create a list of things you like. Write down all the things that you currently like to do or have enjoyed doing in previous years. So for example, I love languages, psychology, reading, writing, making videos, networking, skiing, traveling, and spirituality. Then you should prioritize your interests. Take the 3 things you're most interested in, then list the reasons why they inspire or interest you. For example, I enjoy running because it clears my mind, relieves stress, gets me outside to enjoy nature, and it stimulates creative ideas, which is important for YouTube. And if you're going to build a YouTube channel around your passion, you need to do a little research to find out if other people are interested in it. Enter your main keyword in the YouTube search box to discover the popular channels in your niche. Visit online websites, Facebook groups, and use the auto-suggest feature in Google and YouTube to discover phrases that are related to your main keyword. You can then use these keyword phrases to create a video series for your channel. One of the best ways to fuel your passion is to look for problems that need solving. It will add fuel to your passion because we're built to interact and help other people. For example, it brings me great joy and inspiration if I can solve a problem that someone has been struggling with it for weeks and months. As you pursue your passion, you'll come across many failures and obstacles on your journey. This is normal, so just embrace the problems because it'll deepen your knowledge and you'll be able to help someone along the way, someone who's encountered the same obstacles, and they will thank you for it. Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before he had any success. His teachers said he was too stupid to learn anything. Then he was fired from his first 2 jobs for being non-productive. So you should fail often. When you give your full energy and attention to your passion, it will result in success. Success may come in small amounts, such as the first 100 views or first 100 subscribers. As you invest more time and energy, your successes will multiply. And the next thing to learn to up your game on YouTube is to learn about storytelling. And in this video, I'll show you everything step by step.